Welcome back to Dreamland Tales, where every night we share a cozy, magical bedtime story just for you. So snuggle under your blanket, get comfy, and let's drift into tonight's Halloween adventure together. The night was cool and crisp in Willowbrook, a little town that came alive every Halloween. Pumpkins glowed on porches, string lights twinkled in orange and purple, and the streets were filled with laughter. The sweet smell of caramel apples, kettle corn, and chocolate floated on the autumn breeze. Inside their cozy house, Sophie was busy adjusting her magician's cape in front of the mirror. The cape was black with golden sparkles, and when she spun around, it shimmered like starlight. Sophie, with her freckles and curious green eyes, had been waiting for this night all month. Her little brother, Ethan, stomped into the room, wearing his green dragon costume. His tail bounced as he gave a playful roar, showing off his pointy dragon wings. "Fear me, I am the dragon who eats all the candy," he laughed. Sophie giggled. "You mean the dragon who shares candy, right?" "Maybe." Ethan grinned, clutching his pumpkin-shaped candy bucket. Their mom peeked in with a smile. "You two ready for trick-or-treating?" "Ready," they both shouted. When they stepped outside, the neighborhood was alive. Kids in costumes ran door to door shouting, "Trick or treat," as candy dropped into their buckets. Superheroes zoomed past, princesses twirled in sparkling dresses, and little ghosts toddled with their parents. But as Sophie and Ethan reached the very end of their street, something strange happened. The full moon shimmered brighter than ever, and suddenly a glowing golden trail appeared at their feet. Ethan bent down and gasped, "Sophie, it's candy corn, a trail made out of candy." Sophie's eyes widened. Each candy corn glowed softly like a tiny lantern. This isn't normal. I think it wants us to follow hand in hand." The siblings stepped onto the glowing path. It led them past the last house, through a grove of glowing pumpkins, and into a wide clearing. And there, rising up against the night sky, was something unbelievable. A castle made entirely of candy corn. Its towers sparkled orange, yellow, and white, stacked high into the stars. The walls shimmered like sugar crystals, and the drawbridge was made of chocolate bars. Marshmallow clouds floated around the turrets, and gumdrop lanterns lit the windows. Ethan's jaw dropped. "No way. That's the biggest candy corn in the universe," Sophie whispered. It's beautiful." At the gate stood two candy guardians, tall, smiling figures made of licorice and gumdrops. "Welcome, Sophie and Ethan," they chimed in voices like jingling bells. "The candy corn castle appears only on the most magical Halloween nights. Tonight, you are the chosen guests." The gates creaked open, and Sophie and Ethan stepped inside. What they saw made them gasp. Rivers of flowing chocolate swirled past gumdrop bridges. Cotton candy trees waved their pink branches in the breeze. Cupcake creatures waddled happily, their frosting swaying with each step. Gummy bears danced in circles, laughing and clapping their paws. Ethan's eyes nearly popped out of his dragon mask. Best Halloween ever. They followed the candy guardians down a sparkling hallway lit by candy corn lanterns until they reached the grand hall. At the very center, on a caramel throne, sat the candy corn queen. She wore a crown of sugar crystals that glimmered like diamonds, and her robe shimmered like melted chocolate. Her smile was warm and kind. "Welcome, little dreamers," she said, her voice gentle and sweet. "On Halloween, we celebrate not just candy, but imagination, joy, and kindness. Tonight, You may each make one Halloween wish. Ethan didn't hesitate. I wish for enough candy to share with every kid in town. The queen's eyes sparkled. A generous wish indeed. She waved her candy wand, and a glowing chest appeared, filled with endless sweets that would never run out. Then Sophie stepped forward. She thought for a moment and said, I wish for magic that never fades. I want every Halloween to feel as special as this one. The queen nodded. A wise wish. For that, you will carry the true spirit of Halloween in your hearts, no matter how old you grow. Suddenly, the entire castle lit up. Fireworks shaped like candy exploded in the sky, showering the land with orange and gold sparkles. Laughter and music filled the air. The queen clapped her hands, and before they knew it, Sophie and Ethan were standing once again at the end of their street. The candy corn trail was fading, but in their buckets, the candy was piled high, more than they'd ever seen. Ethan held up a single golden candy corn that glowed softly in his hand. Proof, he whispered. That night, after trick-or-treating and giggling over their candy haul, Sophie and Ethan curled up in bed. On the nightstand, the golden candy corn glowed like a little lantern, filling their room with warm, cozy light. As they drifted off to sleep, they could still hear the distant music of the candy corn castle, reminding them that sometimes magic appears when you least expect it. And so, Sophie and Ethan's Halloween became a night they would treasure forever, filled with candy, laughter, and a castle made of dreams. Thank you for joining us tonight on Dreamland Tales. Sleep tight, little dreamers, and remember, the sweetest magic is the kind you carry in your heart.